Hello, this is Dr. Peru here, and today I'd like to discuss the absolute worst ice cream you can eat and the best ice cream that you can eat. Yes, there are certain ice creams that are healthier, and I'm going to share a great recipe with you at the end of this video. I think I'd be an expert in ice cream since I used to eat a lot of it. I remember one year I ate 1 pint of Ben and Amp, Jerry's, every single night to help me sleep because I had really bad insomnia. I noticed that when I consumed Ben and Amp, Jerry's, it helped me fall asleep. Little did I know, that was a sugar coma. Let's start with the worst ice cream. The worst ice cream, Ben and Amp, Jerry's. If you look at the ingredients for Ben and Amp, Jerry's, you'll find cream, liquid sugar, skim milk, more sugar, brown sugar, soybean oil, and, of course, tapioca flour, which they use as a filler, and it's not even sweet. What's interesting about Ben and Amp, Jerry's ice cream, is that per serving size, it contains 49 g of carbohydrates. So 49 times 3 is equal to 147 g of carbohydrates per pint. Some of that starch turns into sugar, so what we're really dealing with is about 35 to 34 teaspoons of sugar in a pint of Ben and Amp, Jerry's ice cream. Next up, let's talk about Breyer's ice cream. A serving size of Breyer's contains 21 g of carbs and 18 g of sugar, and since there are 4 servings in a pint, we get 84 g of carbohydrates in total. But with Breyer's, we're not just dealing with regular sugar, we're also dealing with high fructose corn syrup, which is actually worse than cane sugar. On top of that, they add seed oils, which are very unhealthy. This is why if you're doing a high-fat diet, you must also follow it with low carbs. You never want to consume both high carbs and high fats together. Unfortunately, most ice creams are a combination of both. Breyer's vanilla ice cream. Let's talk about Breyer's vanilla. It's interesting because it only has about 4 ingredients: milk, cream, sugar, a type of gum, used as a thickener, and natural flavorings. This is definitely a step up, but they don't mention whether it's organic or grass-fed, which would be important to know. Breyer's low-carb ice cream, Carb Smart. Then there's Breyer's low-carb version called Carb Smart. They've made an attempt to make it low-carb, but they ruined it with maltitol syrup, a sweetener that's supposed to have minimal impact on blood sugar. Just because something is labeled as low-carb or keto-friendly doesn't necessarily mean it's actually good for your blood sugar. Plus, maltitol can cause a lot of gastrointestinal problems. Breyer's also adds soluble corn fiber, which is often touted as being beneficial, but there are no safety studies on it. And then there's sucrose, which is a chlorine-based sugar known to cause issues with your microbiome. I'd definitely stay away from this one. If I had to choose between the regular Breyer's vanilla with 5 ingredients and the Carb Smart version, I'd go with the regular one, but only in moderation. Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Now let's talk about Haagen-Dazs ice cream. This one is a bit better, with only 5 ingredients: cream, skim milk, egg yolk, cane sugar, and natural flavorings. The serving size contains 23 g of sugar, which is about 14 teaspoons of sugar per serving. While it's still high in sugar, Haagen-Dazs has about half the sugar content that Ben and Amp, Jerry's, does. It's definitely a better option. Finally, let's get into the so-called keto-friendly ice creams. These are marketed as being low in sugar and carbs, but it's important to carefully read the ingredients before making a decision. So, the first one I'm going to show you is right here. It's from a brand I think is keto-friendly. It claims to be keto with only 3 net carbs per serving. The serving size is 3, and there are a total of 16 carbs. But now, let's look at the ingredients. It contains cream, water, egg yolk, arrowroot strawberries, and of course, they add soluble corn fiber. The thing about this one is that it has 10 g of sugar alcohol per serving. So, if you were to consume the whole pint, that's 30 g of sugar alcohol. This can cause digestive issues. I'm glad they don't add other types of sugar, but I think they ruined it with all these synthetic fibers. Honestly, if we're comparing it to Ben and Amp, Jerry's, it's a step up. Now, let's talk about Rebel. Rebel has 0 grams of sugar per pint, so what's in it? Rebel contains cream, egg yolk, chicory root fiber, milk protein, isomalt, carob gum, and monk fruit. These aren't bad ingredients, so this would be fine to consume. As you can see, there are different levels of badness when it comes to ice cream. You can't just trust something that says keto-friendly or carb-smart. You have to read the ingredients. I've mentioned a couple that are okay, but I think the best thing is to make your own. How to make ice cream. There are 2 versions of this. The first one is for someone who really wants to be low carb and truly keto friendly. The recipe includes heavy cream, egg yolks, allulose, a pinch of sea salt, and vanilla flavoring. You can also add other things like pecans or walnuts. Blend it up and put it in the freezer for 4 to 5 hours, then take it out, and you've got your ice cream. The second version is slightly different. It uses organic cream, 2 egg yolks, honey, a pinch of sea salt, and pure vanilla. You can either put it in an ice cream maker or blend it. This gives you more control over the ingredients, and it's great for special occasions. Go ahead and try out the recipes, tell me what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.